What happens when the biggest celebrities in the world meet the sharpest satire on TV?
Wow, a former president living right across the street!
Oh, why did he have to move in on my territory? Stupid president.
The Simpsons turns their pride into punchlines. Let's look at the moments when famous names were dragged, humiliated, and left with hurt egos. Let's begin with the feud that brought the White House all the way to Evergreen Terrace. Two Bad Neighbors, Season 7, Episode 13. George H.W. Bush was once the President of the United States. On The Simpsons, he became Homer's cranky next-door neighbor. This episode takes one of the most powerful men in America and shrinks him down into a bitter old guy who can't even handle Bart Simpson. That's where the mocking begins. The story kicks off with Springfield's neighborhood rummage sale. Everyone's out trading junk, when suddenly a moving truck pulls up. Out steps George Bush and his wife Barbara. The show doesn't treat them like icons or leaders. They're just another retired couple looking for a quiet street. Except their new street is Evergreen Terrace, which means trouble is seconds away.
Squigglicious, scrubdiddlerific, fine and dandy like sour candy.
Things go wrong fast. Bart gets curious and tears through Bush's yard.
Hi! Hey, what's this?
My electric card shuffler, don't go near that. Now, I told you.
He wrecks the president's freshly written memoirs with a motorboat engine. Not only memoirs, but he destroys his whole room. George does not laugh it off. He growls, "I'm gonna do what your father should have done long ago."
I'm gonna do something your daddy should have done a long time ago.
He drags Bart over his knee and spanks him. That moment is played for shock and comedy, but it also paints the former president as a humorless grandpa who can't control his temper. When Homer comes to know about the incident, he takes the insult personally. The feud is on. When Homer confronted Bush, Bush doubles down with the attitude, insisting that Homer owed him an apology.
Excuse me, sir, where are you going?
I'm going to punch George Bush in the face.
Okay, is he expecting you?
From here, the two men sink into a petty prank war. Homer launches bottle rockets at the Bush home. George answers by hanging a giant banner that reads, "Two Bad Neighbors." The show makes him look ridiculous, more like an egotistic old man than a world leader. Bart and Homer prank him by planting cardboard cutouts of George W. and Jeb Bush on his lawn, and then go even further by gluing a rainbow wig onto his head. It's slapstick humiliation aimed right at a former president. Bush completely loses his temper and floors his car straight into the Simpsons' front yard. He doesn't just park there. He keeps spinning the wheels, tearing up the grass, splattering mud everywhere, and even coating the Simpsons' windows in filth. This exaggerated tantrum makes the former president look childish. And it doesn't stop there. The feud escalates until Bush and Homer are literally brawling in the sewage like children. Bart sides with his father, adding to the madness by unleashing swarms of locusts. While they're fighting, they climb out of the sewage and start fighting all over again. The strange scene finally ends when Mikhail Gorbachev shows up at the Bush house with a peace gift, adding an extra jab at Bush's real Cold War history. Bush says sorry for spanking Bart, but he never apologizes for wrecking the Simpsons' lawn. Even then, he refuses to fully back down, which only makes him look stubborn and small. By the end, the Bush family packs up and leaves. Their house is instantly sold to Gerald Ford, who gets along with Homer over beer and nachos. Behind all the chaos lies the episode's real fuel, a response to the Bush family's real-world comments. In 1990, Barbara Bush called The Simpsons the dumbest thing she'd ever seen. Then Bush Sr. had also called for America to be more like the Waltons and less like The Simpsons. This episode turns real-life insults into its own story, Homer and George at war. And in the end, one neighbor leaves, another takes his place, and Springfield remains perfectly absurd. When You Dish Upon a Star, Season 10, Episode 5. Next, Springfield collides with Hollywood, as Homer literally crashes into the lives of Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger after a wild parasailing accident at Lake Springfield. This moment flips Springfield's ordinary into celebrity territory, and it sets the stage for one of the show's sharpest celebrity jabs. It begins with Homer taking his family to Springfield Lake. While there, he goes parasailing and tells Marge to send him up higher. But then, snap, the rope breaks. He crashes through a skylight and lands right inside Baldwin and Basinger's hidden home. That's how he goes from nobody to assistant in one crash.
Ah! What the hell?
Sorry, lady. I know you! You're Kim Basinger!
It's Basinger.
It all unfolds so fast and so absurdly that you know trouble is coming. Homer starts helping them with chores, like buying groceries, since they don't want to reveal their identity in Springfield.
Hi, I'm Ron Howard.
Ron Howard?
Then Ron Howard pops in too, as himself. He walks in, and Homer, being his usual clueless self, immediately tries to be friends with him.
What's with him?
Oh, that's just Homer. He's a new friend of ours.
Really? You giant stars consider me a friend?
He also forced a movie idea on them, a killer robot driving instructor from the past with a talking pie as the sidekick. They all turned it down. Of course, Homer can't keep a secret. He tells Springfield where the famous couple is hiding, and suddenly the mass of townsfolk shows up at their door looking for autographs and photos. Kim is furious, Baldwin is done, and Homer is bounced straight out.
All right, I'll go. Just remember, old Homer won't be here anymore.
As if that weren't enough, Homer is pelted with rocks on his way home. The mob scene underlines how Springfield always strips away glamour and turns stars into punchlines. Now Homer is furious. To get back at them, he builds a rolling Museum of Hollywood Jerks, filled with the stars' private belongings, and parades it through Springfield for everyone to see. He even displays their photos and underwear, turning their personal lives into a traveling joke. It's open mockery, and the insult could not be clearer. While on the other hand, Alec Baldwin, Kim Basinger, and Ron Howard feel guilty for insulting Homer and want to make up for that.
Point is, we weren't fair to Homer. He screwed up, but he deserves another chance.
Yeah, everyone makes mistakes.
But things only get worse when they catch Homer pretending to wear Kim's bikini in public, mocking her in the most embarrassing way possible.
Ooh, look at me! I'm Kim Basinger, the big movie star. I'm so beautiful.
That's the moment the roast turns into rage. Baldwin takes it personally, and together the three celebrities jump into their Hummer and begin chasing Homer through town. The chaos only gets worse. At one point, Alec Baldwin jumps onto Homer's van and ends up stuck in a ridiculous struggle. Kim Basinger then tries to save her husband, but instead of looking heroic, it comes off as clumsy and over the top. Their friend Ron Howard also gets caught up in the madness and is thrown out of the van while trying to help. The fall is so rough that for a moment it even looks like he might be dead, which makes the whole scene darker but still played as a joke. It's all played for laughs. These big Hollywood stars are shown as clumsy and foolish. The show takes their pride and flips it into comedy, showing that in Springfield, no celebrity ego is safe. In the end, the whole mess even goes to court. When Homer is finally asked to speak in court, he turns it into another roast of the stars. He says that
I believe that famous people have a debt to everyone. If celebrities didn't want people pawing through their garbage and saying they're gay, they shouldn't have tried to express themselves creatively.
He even adds that once they're gone, their faces will still be sold off in commercials.
You people must realize that the public owns you for life. And when you're dead, you'll all be in commercials dancing with vacuum cleaners.
It plays less like a defense and more like Homer doubling down on the roast. After listening to this, the judge orders that Homer will stay 500 miles away from any celebrity, living or dead. The final twist is still to come. 1 month later, Howard pitches Homer's bizarre screenplay to Brian Grazer at 20th Century Fox. That moment checks the box on Hollywood satire. Homer's idea gets serious consideration, despite being absolutely ridiculous. That moment is more than just a quick gag. It's a sharp parody of Hollywood itself. The joke lands on Howard, showing that even the biggest names in the industry will still run after nonsense if they think it can make money. It also mocks the way powerful figures take credit for other people's ideas, turning Homer's silly pitch into a mirror of how the business really works. Politically Inept with Homer Simpson, Season 23, Episode 10. The story begins at Springfield Airport, where Homer and his family are stuck waiting through yet another long delay. Things spiral when Homer desperately needs the restroom, only to be refused by the staff. That small moment of frustration becomes the spark for the entire plot. He snaps in front of everyone, grabs the intercom, and unleashes a furious rant against the airline.
Airlines don't treat people like people anymore. You make us beg for a filthy pillow that a barnyard rat wouldn't curl up and die in.
Bart records the outburst, uploads it online, and overnight Homer becomes famous. A man who couldn't even wait for the bathroom is suddenly treated like he's the voice of a nation. This is the first jab at modern celebrity culture, showing how one foolish meltdown can go viral. Soon, Homer is invited onto Headbutt with Nash Caster, a parody of loud cable news shows. Instead of being embarrassed, Homer's interruptions and nonsense rants are celebrated. The crowd cheers as he shouts over everyone. The joke here is obvious. He's not smart, but he is loud, and that alone is enough to make him a star in today's media circus. Before long, Homer gets his very own program.
Homer, you're getting your own show.
Finally, but I want to do it my way.
Gut Check with Homer Simpson. On air, he invents the gravy boat movement, complete with real gravy to represent American values. Crowds actually rally around it, chanting and marching for something that means absolutely nothing. This turns politics into pure slapstick and makes Homer a leader without a clue. The Republican Party then decides to cash in on Homer's sudden popularity by letting him pick their next presidential candidate. And this is where the real celebrity roast begins. Out of all possible choices, Homer selects rock musician Ted Nugent, who voices himself in the episode.
No one's voting Democrat while I can still draw a bow.
Ted Nugent! I made love on my honeymoon to your sweet music. You're my man!
Nugent is shown as wild, extreme, and completely out of touch. Instead of a serious leader, he becomes Homer's perfect choice precisely because of his chaos. The mockery of Nugent is relentless. Lisa openly says he's out of his mind and is not eligible for presidency, dismissing him outright.
But he's out of his mind! He can't run for president!
His behavior drives the point home. He hangs a child upside down from a tree and even fires children as if they were arrows from a bow. The show makes him look careless and ridiculous, stripping away any dignity his real-world persona might have. The satire sharpens further when Nugent sings a bizarre anthem. Hail to me, I am the President Gonzo. Eat moose raw so their souls go into my soul.
Hail to me, I'm the President Gonzo. Eat mooses raw so the souls go into my soul.
It's absurd, over the top, and designed to humiliate. Instead of being shown as a tough patriot, he's painted as a joke, a man whose ego is blown up only to be torn down. By the end, even Homer realizes he was wrong to back Nugent. What began as a bathroom meltdown ends with a full-scale parody of both politics and celebrity, leaving Nugent's image as the final joke. The Simpsons has one rule: no ego is too big to mock. Presidents become neighbors, movie stars become fools, and rockers become clowns. Which takedown is your favorite? Let us know, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.